Alright, Shalom, Shalom. Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, Brakathum. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. It's Brother Yatazdak back once again with another sit down lesson, giving all honor and glory to Yahweh, Bashim Yahushai, Bashim Brakakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Salakias, bear with me 1 second. Right, so we're back once again. Right, this is Jeremiah chapter 6, going into the Hebrew. Shalom to the 144,000 of the nation of Israel. It consists of you so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Americans. We are in America, Babylon the Great, right? The Israelites, we are the Israelites, which are the so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Americans. 12 tribes of Israel, right? You have some of us that look like other nations, but that is because we took wives of the other nations in times past. So you may have what you would think to be an Edomite, which is a so-called white man, but he may be part of the seed of Jacob, not Esau, right? Meaning of the 12 tribes, right? Or a Moabite, you know. That's why the scripture said it's about the spirit, right? But the Lord is not dealing with other nations. Do not get that misconstrued, right? The promise is according to the seed, right? Which is Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, right? We're not talking about spiritual Israelites. We're talking about a lineage, right? Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. The Most High God's name is Yahweh. It's not Jehovah. It's not Yeshua or Yahuwah. It's Yahweh. Ba'ashem means in the name in the ancient Hebrew tongue. Yahweh Shai, Hamashayak is who you call Jesus Christ. It's not Yeshua, not Yahushua. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakak Wadash, which is the Holy Spirit, which is also the divine inspiration, the holy angels, the volume of the book, the spirit of truth, right? So these are things that are written to come to pass in America, Babylon the Great, because we are in America, Babylon the Great. We are in the last days. The last days meaning the end of an age of Esau Edom's rulership, which is the so-called white man, and the beginning of Jacob's world, which is the kingdom of heaven, right? Which is for the elect. 2/3 of you so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Americans will be coerced into taking the RFID chip. You're going to perish in the time of martial law, FEMA camps, World War III, world economic collapse, central bank digital currencies. You have things like universal basic income. These are the things. This is going to be that crutch spoken of in the book of Isaiah, where Jake is going to lean on the staff of Egypt, right? But anyways, without further ado, right, so the RFID chip is the mark of the beast, right? 2/3 will be coerced into taking the RFID chip, will perish of martial law, FEMA camps, when all these things come to pass. And then the Lord's going to rain fire and brimstone, thermonuclear fire upon America, Babylon the Great, right? So anyways, we're going to get right into it. The header of this chapter is Destruction of Jerusalem Impending, right? And the Sabbath day is tonight, sundown, right? Let's get that real quick. Timeanddate.com, right? The full moon, right? Which represents the 14th day of the month, which is a Sabbath, right? Let's see. So the new moon is December 30th. And we're currently at the full moon. Third quarter would be December 22nd. Right? And right. Anyways, oh, here it is. November 22nd. So the 30th, November 30th was the last new moon, right? So it goes so Saturday was the last Sabbath, sundown to sundown, 14th, 14th day. But anyways, let's get right into it. Giving all honor and glory to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Wakak Wadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Let's get it, right? Jeremiah 6 and 1. It says, seek refuge, O children of Benjamin, from the midst of Jerusalem, right? Let's look at that root. To flee, to retire, to take refuge. That's Strong's H5756. Let's listen to what the blue letter says.
Strong's H5756. Ooze.
Ooze. Right. You know the blue letter, it's a hit or miss, so we gotta roll in the spirit. It says, and blow the and in the kwai, blow the trumpet, and upon the house, or Salakia, and beside Beth Ha-Sarem, lift up a what does this say? A sign of fire. Which that's really like a burden, like lift up a burden, you know. It's not ma'ash, see nasha'ah. It's like saying lift up a standard, right? Because evil appeared from the north. So that word shaquap means looketh down. It's another way to say it's coming from the north, or it's heading, coming down. You know how you tell how you say in the world, I'm on my way down there. Shaquap. The root behind that word means to look down, right, from a height, from a window. The Lord looking down from the heavens, so on and so forth. From the north. So it says, an evil cometh from the north, and a breaking great, as in a great destruction, which reads, Azwa Banya Banyaman Makwarab Yerushalayim Waba the Kwai Wa Shapar Wa Al Bayath Hakaram Sha'awa Masha'ath Kaya Raya Nashakwapa Matazapan Washabar Gadol. Jeremiah 6 and 2. Behold, delicate, like unto a delicate one, have I likened to the daughter of Zion, right? Which here says a comely and delicate woman, right? But that word inag means to be delicate, right? Which reads or Salakia, that word is actually desirable and delicate. I have likened the daughter of Zion, which sometimes you read it as Nawa or Awa or not Awa, right? Awaf is the root meaning it means desire, right? So it reads Ha Nawa, Waha, Ma'anaga, Damyat, Ya, Bath, Tazayawan, right? Which is a precept we use to push doctrine, which is the doctrine that comely and delicate woman, basically, that's just likens the glory of Israel, right? Because Jake Jacob was called a wholesome man, which is that word is in the Hebrew thamah, and so that's what it means, right? It's just talking about the glory of Jake, how he was chosen, which is the nation of Israel as a peculiar people, right? Chosen above all nations of the earth, right? And so this chapter isn't really, you know, super deep. It's not, blow the trumpet of Benjamin. That means, okay, 2 plus 2 is 4, you know, right? No. Jeremiah 16:3 says, unto her they shall enter the shepherds and their droves, and shall pitch right about. Well, actually, that's not the word for pitch. Let's check it out. Strong's Hebrew 8628, which is that word is the quai, to strike, to smite, which is you could strike as in the trumpet, blow a trumpet, which is the quai, but the root word is actually, it means to set up a tent, like a tent peg, tent nail. When you camp or in camp, that's what you usually do. Happy holidays to you, sir. Have a great day. It's nice out today. I want to say happy Hanukkah, but I don't think that's appropriate. But anyways, so yeah, that's when you camp roundabout. You set up, an encampment. It's behind. That's the idea behind it. You know. Uh, so it says, and they shall pitch up a camp against her, their tents round about, to feed a man unto his hand. Which is what the Lord has done when He set up enemies against Israel in times past. You know, and uh, so this is what we've read it in previous chapters. We and Hanukkah already passed, so that's I've seen a small hat house with the small hats. They had their that the Molech star, and it said, I think it said either Merry Christmas or Happy Hanukkah, but that was last month, because it's according to the lunar calendar, you know. But anyways, um, so the scriptures say, use the world, don't abuse it. Make yourself friends of the unrighteous mammon, so you can forward the ministry, right? Uh, which is not just talking about the so-called white man. Jake's got money. Jake is established too. But you don't take advantage of. especially your own people. You know, these heathens. The law says you can lay on a taxes on the heathen. You know, but not all things are lawful. All things are lawful. Not all things are expedient. Like we're not out here putting Moses to death. We're not doing none of that because this isn't our society. You know. Um, so this is just talking about like we read in previous chapters. You know, the nations setting up shop. You know, like when the heathens took over Jerusalem, the time of the Gentiles until the time of the Gentiles should be fulfilled. So these other nations set up shop. They set their thrones around about Jerusalem. You know, Salakia. We read that in previous chapters. All right. Um, so it reads, Aliyah, Yaba'awa, Rayam, Wa Idar Yahum, Takwaiwa, Aliyah, Ahaliam, Sabyab, Raiwa, Ayash, Atha, Yadwa. Jeremiah 6 and 4, sanctify against her battle, rise up and ascend up in the noonday. Woe unto us, because there is a turning of the day, because there is an inclination unto the shadows of the night. That's kind of deep, you know, because uh, noonday is when the height of the day. You know, that's when the news shows come on, and in the noonday is like the center of the day. You know, which is it's not necessarily talking about it, but you can say that is the talking about now the acceptable time when the Lord is waking up the remnant. You know, we're prophesying against America, Babylon the Great. You know, and it's just so that's what it's talking about. Well, it's not, but we can use this as a similitude to teach concerning because Esau, his daytime is his kingdom, which he's in his kingdom, right? So to him, everything is gravy. But we're in a spiritual nighttime. Our daytime is when the Lord puts us in rule, right? So we're spiritually in nighttime, which is Esau's reign, and the daytime, which is why Yahweh Shai is called the morning star, you know, because that's how you're gonna, and that's in Numbers chapter 24. You know, I shall see him, and that's what Balaam said. He said, he's gonna come down, he's gonna descend like a star. That's talking about the fathership, Yahweh Shai's fathership, right? So you really gotta be learned in order to understand things like morning star and things like Lucifer, and it's not the same as Lucifer. When you go into the word, yeah, it is, because Yahweh Shai, Lucifer goes into just having knowledge and being, you know, illuminated with understanding, which can be used on the left hand side, right? But Yahweh Shai is, his understanding is, all righteous, you know. But that's going into something else. But really, you know, um, so it says, "Woe unto us, because of the turning of the day, because when the Lord cast away Jake, that was the end of the end of it, Israel's day, and Esau and them. How do you say it? Entering into a spiritual nighttime, and Esau went from spiritual nighttime to entering into spiritual daytime for him. You know how they say in the world, "Oh, today's your day," you know. So it says that's why it says here because of the inclination of the shadows of the evening, right? Or like it says in the KJV, for the shadows of the evening are stretched out. You know, like it says in the book of Psalms, that I've seen the wicked spreading themselves like a green bay tree, right? You know, so it's not super deep. You know, it's not that's talking about the evil inclination, and you know that's what Yahushua spoke against. You know, we speak as far as the simplicity of the scriptures. You know, you got other philosophies, even other Hebrews were like camps that try to make it super deep. You know, that's what Yahushua said. You know, these are men that put burden upon burden upon burden, but they suffer you not to enter into the gates of the kingdom of heaven, which starts with your mind and the understanding, right? Which is simple, but sometimes we go into these verses where we can compare to the times that we're in, or we can parallel it with something, you know. So it says Kwadashwa Aliyah Malachama Kwamwa Wana Ila Ba Tazaharium Aya Lanawa Kaya Pana Hayam Kaya Yanatwa Tazalalya Irab. Jeremiah chapter 6 and verse 5. Arise and let us ascend up in the night, and we shall destroy her palaces. Right? Again, this is that transition, because the heathen had the time where they ruled, and you know, they had a time where they ruled, and eventually the Lord put it in the spirit, to return, and like Esau, he was bound up for 1,000 years, right? Then 1500s he came back, and he started slaughtering Jake, you know, the Inquisition, and Ishmael did the same. He pushed Jake out of those areas like Jerusalem, and it was mainly Esau. It was mainly the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Shai, but it started with these various captivities, right? So Esau, so like if Jake would be scattered, and they would reside in particular regions like Egypt, and you know in 70 AD, you had Jake fled, to various parts of the earth, you know, and some of them are still there, you know. Isaiah 11 and 11, which those are the people that, when Lord delivers the remnant, Lord willing, if we're of that multitude or number, because it's the same thing. That's the elect, the 144,000 in great multitude, right? Then the remnant are gonna go and get the rest of Jake after the third woe, which is World War III, right? But this is what the heathen did, they slowly getting back into power, and eventually they took Jake down, right? Via via Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, the Lord, right? Because we all went off, you know. To this day, we are in our captivity, which the Lord has loosed those chains from our mind of the remnant, but we're still, so we're not. really in captivity. We're like in subjugation because we're subject to Esau's laws, and you know we got to follow certain procedures. If you want to get a vehicle, if you want to buy a house, you know. So it says, "Kwamwa wana ila bala yala wana shakyata arman thaya." Verse 6 says, "Because thus has said the Lord of hosts, hew down trees and what does it say? And cast upon Jerusalem a mount." So which pak just means turn over. That's another way to say to cast. A mount, salah, means to cast up. So it would actually say, and overturn upon Jerusalem a casting up, right? That is the city which should be visited, holy. Um, Ishak means extortion. Extortion is in her midst, right? Through the Spirit, this is what the Lord put into the minds of the heathen, right? Cast them out, because the Lord said oppression is in her midst, which reads Kaya Ka Amar Yahweh Tazabaath Karatwa Aitaza Wa Shapakwa Al Yerushalayim Salah Haya Ha'ayar Hapakwad Kala Ishak Bakwarba. Verse 7. Salakia, bear with me 1 second. Verse 7 says, like a fountain hewed, but that's actually says fountain, fountain twice, you know. It's like you say, it's like you say, like that chair, that detailed chair, just add an extra emphasis. So it says, like the fountain hewed, right? But let's look at that word casteth, because that word quar means either to dig. Sometimes it means it's referencing something that's cold, like cold weather. Okay, so yeah, it is fountain hewed. Like a hewed fountain or well uh, of days, of her days, as in, you dig a well and, you know, it may last you a couple hundred years. And after that, you just basically say, oh, that fountain has met her days, or, that, that fountain's been hewed for a long time, and now it's just beyond its days of renovating it or refurbishing it. You just got to dig another fountain. You know. It says so. she casteth out, which is that word quara or quara. Sometimes it means like to meet, to sometimes it means um to meet or to encounter, you know. For here it says cast out. Just it's another way to say like encounter. It's basically the same thing. Cast out, encounter. It's like when you say um, the word church, it means to call out. You know, akla'ak, which is out, ecclesias, church. You know, or something to that effect. I'm not going to go into that right now. Um, so it says, like a huge fountain of her days. So uh, she meeteth with evil, which is the same thing as it says in the KJV, as a fountain casteth out the waters. Uh, oh, okay, yeah, yeah. Like a hewed out well of her waters, basically like a well that's hewed out of her waters. You're digging so deep, and the waters either spill underground, or you know all that water gets taken out. That's talking about Jake being spoiled. You know, and that's talking about Jake. That's why it says, so she casted out her wickedness, right? But it just means, so she meeteth wickedness, right? The Lord is saying in that same way, that's how Jake is wicked, you know? That's why in the previous chapters it says, why dost thou trimmest thy ways for love? Meaning for your lovers, these other nations, the other philosophies, worshiping false gods, because Jake loves a reward. Jake loves, you know, Jake is like a damn child, you know. So it says violence and spoil is heard in her. Upon so there is continually pain and smiting, which is grief and wounds. Same thing. So it says al panya, which it should really say al khan. But it's the same. It has that same. There's the same idea behind it, right? Which reads kaha kwayar bayar ma yamya Khan Hakwara Ra'ath Ratha Hamas Washad Yashamai Baha Al Panya Tamayad Halya Wamaka. And that's heavy because the Lord said, Jake is, Lord said, Israel, thou has a horse forehead, you know? That's why these heathens, they got these big ass foreheads, these big ass heads, these little ass jaws, because it's inbreeding, because they, you know? That's why they look weird, you know? And they're just off because the Lord, you know, created them that way, you know? Just like 2/3, they went off because the Lord let them fall to their own lusts. Same with the other nations. Same with Esau. It's not, you can't put it all on Yahweh Bashim Shai. At the same time, you Jakes and your other nation, you say, oh, there's such things, free will, land of the free, or and then but when it comes to the words of Yahweh Bashim Shai, oh, yeah, I agree, yeah, you're right, it was the Lord, it wasn't, you know, but it's you were given to your own lusts, you know, and you gave yourself up to your own lusts, right? And the Lord did that, but you did that too, right? It's just, but it's about the spirit at the end of the day, right? And you gave yourself, you gave yourself up to Satan, to his inclination, which we know the Lord does everything on the left and on the right, but you can't put it on Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, you know. So it says, be reproved, or actually, that word Yasar means to rebuke. Be rebuked, O Jerusalem, lest be stricken my soul from thee, right? Because that doesn't mean to depart, but it's the same thing. Lest I make unto thee like unto desolation, a land not inhabited, right? Which reads, Hasarya Yerushalayim pan takwai napashia mamka pan ashayamka shama arataza la'a nashaba. And that's what we're telling 2/3 of the spirit, you know, learn righteousness, understand the times that we're in. Be reproved. Weep, lament. That's what it says, might be Ezekiel or Isaiah, where it says weep and lament. Because that's the mind state that you're supposed to be in, you know? You're not supposed to be in the state of mirth. It's not the time for mirth. This isn't the time to be in that woe is me spirit either, you know? It's a time to, there's a time and a place for everything, right? You're supposed to feel bad because you went off, you know? You're supposed to return to Yahweh Bashim Shai, but it's all in this time. Like a Sabbath is coming up, you're supposed to be, you know, in the positive spirit. When you learn this truth, you're supposed to, be upset that, I did go off, right? But you got Jake in the world, they don't give a damn about they're not grieved for the affliction of Joseph. They don't give a damn, period. You know? And that's what the Lord is gonna do. He's gonna send them nukes. You Jakes are gonna take the chip and you're gonna be SOL. You're gonna be, you know what, out of luck. So verse 9 says, thus has said the Lord of hosts, surely they shall glean uh, like a vine, the remnant of Israel, which that's how you say remnant, Sha'aryath, Salakia. Turn back thy hand like the gatherer upon the grapes, or Salakia baskets. like the gatherer beside the baskets. So it doesn't actually say grape. You know, but we understand the idea behind what this verse is trying to say, right? And what does that mean? How does that apply to today? Well, the Lord said He set thee in a straight and narrow way. Second address, there's a fire to the left, water on the right, right? So one day you may be, you may be doing okay, and then the Lord is going to turn up that fire, you know, to try your faith, right? And it's not the Lord tempting us, because the Lord can't be tempted with evil, neither does He tempt man, but man is tempted when they fall to their own lusts, you know. Because Jake loves this world. Jake loves to be content, because that's in our spirit. We're supposed to be, we're not supposed to be working. We're not supposed to be, you know, we're supposed to have nice things. We're supposed because we're royalty basically. We are, but that's not that time right now. Right now we're you know we're in a lower state, right? We're not in that royal state, you know. So our mind shouldn't be there, but through the spirit, that's just Jake's spirit. Because Jake likes to have nice things, and you know that's spiritual when you go into it. It's not that Jake is vain, you know, when you see him with chains and gold in his teeth, because that's what we did back then. We had gold in our teeth, we had chains and precious jewels, and you know. So that's why it says he shall thoroughly glean the remnant of Israel, right? As a vine. Meaning he's gonna search Jerusalem with candles. He's going to you're gonna receive the kingdom, but it's not gonna be, you know, all la di da di da, you know? Oh, okay, I'm an Israelite now, and I'm gonna moonwalk into the kingdom. Hell no. So why does it say turn back your hand like a grape gatherer into the baskets? Because once the elect is sealed, you 2/3 are you're not gonna hear the truth anymore. You're not gonna hear us prophesy anymore, right? The famine of the word, then you're gonna have all hell break loose, right? But we know what you damn devils are doing. So what? Yahweh Shai, Hamashiach, he said the end is not by and by. We see you goddamn devils and the games that you play. So what? But there's gonna come that time where he's gonna turn back his hand. You know, you can even apply that to Jake to the deliverance, right? And that's when the missiles are gonna hit. You know, because we're the grape gatherers. Is not the remnant known as a the vine of the cluster or the vintage of the cluster, something to that effect. You know. So it says Ka Amar Yahweh Tazabaath Alal Ya Alal Wa Kagapan Salaki. I'm getting excited. Sha'ar Yath Yasha'ala Hashab Yadka Kabatazar Al Salsalath. Verse Salakia. Just bear with me 1 second. All right, we're back. Right. So verse 10 says, upon who, as in unto whom, will I speak, and I give warning, which that word iwad means to turn back, to return. So that's what he's saying. To who is the Lord speaking to? To whom will I cause to return? You know, and that they may hear. Behold, it is uncircumcised their ear, and they are not able to hearken. Behold, the word of the Lord is unto them like unto a reproach. They have no delight in it, right? Because that's what Jake is offended. When we tell you you can go through hell, when we tell you, get your act right, man. You know, get your mind right. You know, that's what Jake says in the world. Get some sense. Get some damn sense. You know, which is one of the famous Hebrew proverbs where they say Jake, and you read that about that in the scripture. Jake says Jake likes to say, "Am I a dog's head?" Really, that word kalab means basket. You know, as in, am I a dog's basket? It just has so many meanings. You can just, you know, because the dog is what laps comes and laps, and you feed the dog, or you could apply to, um, or not a dog's basket. I'm thinking too fast. Am I a basket's head? As in, is my head attached to my body? Like, am I stupid? You think I'm stupid or something? You know, you think I'm simple? That's what I meant. You know. So it says, Al Maya Adabara Wa'a Ayada Waya Shamai Wa Hana Arala Azanam Aznam Wala'a Yakalwa Laha Kwashiab Hana Dabar Yahawa Haya Laham Laha Rapa La'a Ya Kapatazawa Bawa. Jake doesn't want to hear, that, famine is coming, war, death, right? Jake absolutely does not want to hear that, you know? Jake just wants to be goddamn in the state of mirth all the time, you know? That's all Jake wants, you know? And that's vain. That is vain as hell, you know? But anyways, Salakia. Jeremiah 6 and 11 says, and unto the fury of the Lord I am filled, and I am weary to be able, right? As in, I'm weary to be able to hold it, right? To pour it upon the children and in the streets, or in the broad places, you know, Because we can't hold this word, right? We can't not preach. We can't not warn Jake. We have to do that, right? And this is a highways and byways precept because we're pouring it out to Jake, the understanding, right? Which is why the Lord said He had made my mouth like unto a sharp sword. Yahushua is a sharp sword because that represents the destruction. We're telling you what is written, you know. And it says, and upon the assembly of the choice ones, which is the elect Habaharium, right? Let's look at that word sad. It just means assembly. Together, because even the husband with the wife, they shall be taken, the elder with fullness of days, he that is full of days, right? And you read about that in the book of Ezekiel, right? Set a mark upon those that sigh and cry for the abominations thereof, right? And then the Lord told the angel to destroy utterly man, beast, woman, child, because them missiles they're not gonna have respect unto whether you're an Edomite, whether you're a Jake, right? Because when they hit, when the missiles hit, you're gonna be, you know, that's the last thing you're gonna see, you know. And the Lord is gonna make fondue out of you, heathens. And Jake is a heathen now, so you fall in that same category. You Jakes, you're heathens. That's who you are. So it says, Wa ata hamath Yahweh mala'a taya nala'a yathya hakayel shapak al alal bachataza wa al sad bachorium yahadwa kayagam ayash I'm asha yalakadwa zakwan I'm mala'a yum yum. And that's why you really have to meditate on these things, because if you don't, this is part of being able to measure the times, right? Compare, contrast, line prophecy, line prophecy with current events. You know, that's what Jake should be doing instead of being preoccupied with the things of this world. Verse 12 says, Salakia, I'm getting excited. Mm. So verse 12 says, and will return their houses unto others, their fields and wives together, because I will stretch to my hand against the inhabitants of the land, saith the Lord. You know, that's what the Lord did, right? He put a beast like mind on these heathen, right? To pillage, to destroy, right? And that's what's gonna happen in these latter days. What do you think is gonna? Why do you think it says he shall be as a madman, spare none, right? Because everything's polluted. There's right, something's in the air, something's in the water. You know, war is in the air. You know, everything is defiled. So eventually, many devices are coming to the world. You know, especially when Esau starts seeing the chariots. I mean, you see what these so-called drones are doing. It may be a false flag. We'll see. But when the chariots really start to appear, Esau's gonna lose his mind, right? So let's see where we're at. Salakia, trying to get situated. So it says, so that's what the Lord did. You know, He put a beast-like mind in these nations in Esau, right? So it reads, Wa nasabwa bat yahum la akarium shadath wa nashim yachadwa kaya ata atha yadia al yashabia ba rataza naam Yahweh. Says, because from the least of them and even unto the greatest, all of them is wholly unrighteous, right? But tazai. But that word batazai just means it really means unrighteous gain. You know, that's all it means. And from the prophet even to the priest, all of them commit falsehood, right? Which reads Kaya Makwatanam Wa'ad Gadalum Kalwa Batazai Wama Nabaya Nabia Wa'ad Kahan Kalwa Aisha Shakwar. And they have mended unto the breaking of my people, as in, when you lie to somebody, you tell them, okay, it's going to be all right. Don't worry about the Lord. Don't worry about Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. You know? Yeah, they're telling you that the Babylonians are coming. So what? They're lying. That's talking about the false prophets healing the hurt of the daughter of my people slightly, right? Which is why it says al nakwala, which kwala just means to make light. And that's what these other camps are doing. IUIC, ISUPK, Sakari, making light of what's really going to go down, right? So it says, upon lightness to say peace, peace, and there is no peace. You know? That's why, for example, Bishop Nathaniel of IUIC keeps saying, okay, Jacob's Trouble is gay. Why would you call Jacob's Trouble gay? Or say that there is no Jacob's Trouble? Why would you even... They say you can call the Lord Yoplait Yogurt. You know, these are... they're just trying to change the subject, basically. You know? Which is a way... Um, you know, you have different methods of persuasion. Like when you go to precinct and a cop goes up to you and he says, you know, there's different methods, just like there's you know, you place a good cop, bad cop. You know, there's different methods of brainwashing. You know, even though this has nothing to do with that, but really, you other camps. That's the tactics you're using against Jake, and it's simple. And Jake is so simple. He goes right along with it. He goes and he runs with it. You know, but we're not ignorant of Satan's devices, which includes you other false pastors. So it reads, Waya Rapa'awa Atashabar Amya Al Nakwala La Amar Shalom Shalom or Shalawam Shalawam Wa Ayan Shalawam. Verse 15 says, were they ashamed because an abhorring they made? Because that's what ta'ab means, up to abhor. Okay? Even were they ashamed? They were not ashamed. Even all of them, they did not know, for so they shall fall among the fallen in the time of their visitation. They shall stumble, saith the Lord. They shall stumble thereunto, saith the Lord. Right? Because you got IUIC, you know, putting women away unlawfully, you know, just because one brother texted her. Which you can only put away your wife if she committed fornication. And even at that, the Lord said, Moses suffered you to put away your wives for the hardness of your hearts. You're not supposed to break up what the Lord set up. That's why Yahushua said, in the beginning it was not so. For so a man shall cleave unto his wife, and they shall be one. You know? So it reads, Ha bayashwa kaya ta'aiba ashwa gum bash la'a yabashwa gum ha kolyum la'a yadaiwa lakan yapalwa ba Napoleon ba aitha pakwadathium yakalwa amar Yahweh. Verse 16 says, thus has said the Lord, stand in the ways and see and inquire unto the paths of old. Where is this way good, and walk in it, and find Rest. Let's look at that word regai. To wink with the eye, to rest, to dwell quietly. So or sometimes it means to startle, to terrify. Rest for your souls, and they said, we will not walk therein. Or they have said, we will not go. Because that's what Jake is doing. This is another highways and byways precept. The ways is the highways and byways. Right? Because as the remnant, you're supposed to inquire. Not okay, break this down. Okay, we need this breakdown again. We need, what does this mean? What does this mean? See, we're supposed to give you the truth, but you're supposed to study too. You're supposed to be diligent yourself. And the videos are out there. So what else you need, Jake? Find rest for your souls. Because we're assured knowing that the Lord will eventually select. We are assured knowing that you goddamn devils are gonna pay. You know? That is our heavenly hope to right, to be right, for our work to be um accepted of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, our labor in this word. So it reads, Ka Amar Yahweh Amadwa Al Darakim Wa Ra'awa Wa Sha'alwa La Natabath Alam Ayaza Darak Hatab Wa Lakwa Baha Wa Mataza'awa Ma Ragai La Napashkam Wa Ya Amar Wa La'a Nalaka. But anyways, that's pretty much it. Um, through the spirit of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, Lord willing, you were edified. I'm gonna do the other video, part 2, coming soon. Right, this is Jeremiah chapter 6, verse 1 through 17. Yahweh Bashim Yahushai Brakatam. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Kwam Yasha'Allah, Abad Babal, Shalom.